All right, quickly, let's move on to our second conversation. A call for the scrap of state government. A federal lawmaker identified as Busayo Oluwole Oke has proposed that scrapping state government would be the way forward to grassroots development, and it's actually it will lead to this cure of insecurity in our local regions. Well, before I ask our comrade concerning scrapping state governments, he pointed out Nigeria has failed to, fully carry out a census, which is actually the bane of, development in every region. This is another point he mentioned, but what do you make of this call for scrapping state government? That there will be federal government and local government alone, no state government. I know the governors right now don't want to hear this.
First of all, as a lawmaker,
Yeah.
he has access to more information than some of us have.
Yeah.
One of the premises he built that argument on was the fact that Nigeria is too little to have 36 states and FCT, and that is why he said Nigeria is no more than twice of California. That is a state in America in terms of geography, but certainly not in terms of population. Another reason he alluded was the fact that the cost of running government in Nigeria is very expensive, and not only expensive, it's damaging to the local governance. And the third aspect of his statement was the fact that governance are the problem of grassroots development. If you look at all those points, you want to agree with him, but rather I quite disagree, quite frankly, because today, if you are saying we should cancel state governors and leave the local government,
Yeah.
for instance, some of us, including myself, for over 2-3 years during the first term of this current governor of Kwara State,
Yes.
we agitated to have local government elections. At the end of the day, either rightly or wrongly, we have chairmen and councillors today. What are they doing differently? Have they been able to ensure or guarantee local security as we proposed? Have they been able to revive the local markets? What has happened to the primary schools under their care? So if we are scrapping governors, state governments, and we are giving the power completely to local council, are they not going to become the new emperors? They're going to create more emperors. So today, when people are clamoring for more states to be created, another person is given radical approach that state government should be scrapped. So for me, I don't believe they should be scrapped. What I believe to be done is to enhance the current state government. How do we enhance it? We can regionalize the 36 state government that we have. We can make them subservient to the regional governor of each region. If you're able to do that, it will go back to what former President Olusegun Obasanjo was telling us, that our democracy has to be Afrocentric.
No, if I get you correctly now, there will be a federal government, a regional government,
yes,
state government,
and the local government.
And the local.
Yes. The regional government may not be more than 3. We can have the north and south and the west. And even we will fasten in rotational government that we have all been advocating for. And the resources that should now be used to develop these things can now be given to the regional power to administer them.
Wouldn't that lead to excess spendings in terms of creation of offices? Because we know Nigeria, once there is an office, there will be other appendages of under those offices.
No, we are going to, once you do that, you are going to, for instance, if you have 12 states under one region, you are going to weaken the power of those 12 states and abrogate it to the regional leader. So you are not going to need to construct a new building, new secretariat and all that. You are going to use the existing structure. you.
So now let's take a look at distribution of funds.
That is one of my proposals. The second proposal
all right.
The president has done it initially when his Attorney General went to court to get the Supreme Court pronouncement for the money due to local government to go there directly. But Mr. President, on the altar of politics, possibly because he felt pressing the governors the more will cost him the second term in office. That was why he suspended on that side. And today, you are not hearing that money are paid directly into local government account. Yes, local government chairmen will come out that they are getting the allocation and all that. But this money is still going back to the joint account that are being run by the state government and the local government. That is not sustainable. That is not a democracy.
Okay.
Because the money meant for your state government and Kwara state government are not paid in the same account. Why should that of local government be paid in the same account?
It should be paid? You're saying that it should be paid directly to the local government.
Yes, to the local government. The same way state governors is getting his own allocation. You know, whoever that is in charge of the finance of the local government should go and, you know, detail the people of the local government that this is the amount we receive from federal government. Now, maybe that could begin to bring about, you know, competitions among the local government.
Now, this problem of alleged inefficient distribution of wealth amongst the local government or in the state. Now, don't you think it will also affect the local government in terms of distribution of the funds to ensure that every aspect of that local government is touched?
Well, it's affecting them. But that problem can be solved only in one way. Only when the local councils or local government have what we call political autonomy. And the best way they can have political autonomy is to have their elections conducted by the national body, and at the same time the governor's election are being conducted. Why will you conduct election
the same day?
It may not be the same day, the same period. Let it be 4 years, so that the governors will not be the one conducting election at the local level. One of the news that you read, that governors or politicians cause 90% of the problem that we record in elections. When it comes to local government, they are sometimes cause 100% of the problem because they want to ensure that people that are loyal to them 100% gets elected into those offices. But no matter the level of financial autonomy that we have for local government, so far that political autonomy is not there. It will be the business as usual.
All right, now let's take a look at these points raised by Oke before we move on to our final conversation. Our time is fast spent. Now, in terms of priority, a national census which will actually in many ways strengthen local, autonomy, or should we place national census above or below scrapping the state government? Which one is more important?
If you look at our trajectory in terms of census, it's always marred by a lot of malpractices, worse than what we see during the election.
Census?
Yes, for me, I don't believe in census. You deploy people to go and be writing figures. Also, these people will get to say how many people are there in your house. You tell them it's 20. That's what they do in most of the states in the north. We live there, we school there. You go to a local government, how many people you have there, they count the number of chickens and goats and add it together and give it to the census officials. Do they move around in US and UK counting the number of people that are living in households?
Are you alleging this? Are you alleging this?
No,
or this is factual?
You can fact check it everywhere. The census is one of the problems that led the country into war. We should have moved beyond that. Give incentive for people to report themselves. We have national identity number. Through that, you can use that to know the number of people who are in the country. People can sit down in the comfort of their home, do the biometric capturing, gather them and know the number of people that we have. You can do well, you can do better with estimates rather than that censor that is calling for. So for me, I don't believe that censor, I don't believe it to be a solution.
All right. Elder Yemi Ashaju says, honestly, the scrapping of the second tier is what I have once advocated. Our resources are wasted more at the state levels than other two tiers. If local governments are not doing well, it is because the governors are holding their hands backwards. I want our guests to join in this advocacy. All right. Thank you so much for that message. And before I take final calls, a civil society organization known as the Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa have posited that 90% of crimes that are committed during elections are committed by politicians themselves. And they had this occasion in Abuja, in Sokoto rather, in a town hall meeting. But they claim that politicians commit these offenses, and many have claimed that it is because there is, not that there is no penalty, but it seems as though the elites are left or are left from partaking in this penalty. Before we round off, what do you make quickly in just 2 minutes?
I agree with that, position. And 90% of the problems in the election are caused by politicians. You know why?
Why?
The objective is winning election at all costs.
But there are frameworks.
Even if lives will be lost.
There are legal frameworks that should hold them responsible. INEC is there, the police is there, the judiciary. But shouldn't the bulk of part of the blame be placed on these structures?
No. To prove that there is a crime or a particular crime has been committed in an election, you need a lot of resources. You need a lot of, human and material resources to be able to prove it.
Okay.
It's difficult to prove that. And the legal framework, the system is not, structured in the way that a common man can detect infractions, report it, and get it acted upon. And that's our major problem. And that is the loophole the politicians are exploring. Except if there will be a body that will prosecute crimes that occur in the election separate from the INEC. That body may not be new. It may be one of the existing body that are going to, review their act to give them that task. Maybe ICPC, that seems to be idle now, can take up that role. That their own is to prosecute electoral offenders. That will make it faster, and make the system works better for the common man.
All right, I sincerely appreciate you for your submission. Let's take a final call before we round up this morning. Hello, good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, your guest has said it all.
Yeah.
I almost have nothing more to contribute.
Thank you.
But trapping state government is not a solution. It will rather create more problems. But we need a president who can even put aside constitution, like President Obasanjo did, to deal with the governors.
All right.
So the political will to deal with them is not there with President Tinubu for now because he needs a term. That's the issue.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bamidele Ige. I think this is where we should be wrapping it up this morning. But before we go, your final take in 30 seconds.
Well, I encourage Mr. President, just like Bamidele said, he needs to summon the courage. Forget about second term and hold governors accountable. Not just when you are with the press. Should be able to touchlight their fears so that the money is given to them. Billions can work for the people.
All right.
Let the governor use it to farm the land. Let the governor use it to provide security. Let the governor use it to revive the industries. Let the governor use it to improve power generation.
All right.
So that Nigerians across various states, wherever we are, we can continue to have the gains of this painful reform of the present administration.
All right. This message from Dr. Joe from Ilorin says, "Good day, my people. I support the outright scrapping of the state. They are just avenues for stealing, total waste and profiting of our funds. They never give local governments air to breathe." All right. Just like I normally say on the program, everyone is entitled to his or her own opinion, but the most important thing is that we have to come at a meeting point to move the nation forward. And that's my time for today. I remain your humble host, NEDU OKORIE. My friends call me Mazio Dogu. Since you are my friend, you can call me Mazio Dogu. Thanks to our comrade Onikan, for coming today.
Always a pleasure.
And to you, my listeners, I really appreciate you. Stay informed, stay safe, and stay engaged. This is Diamond Breakfast Show with NEDU OKORIE.